Welcome to another episode of Rever's Railroads Online Rail Repair. And we are out here in the middle of the wilderness with our train. Can't hardly see it. I brought the train up here, so if you guys are watching the 200 barrels, know that this is sort of part of the 200 barrels. We need to go get some coal, bring it down to the iron mine. But just to give you an idea of where we're at, we are here facing the smelter when we're looking this way. But if you look down there, so we're on the line that takes us down to the coal mine that runs all along the eastern side of this mountain range here, down the eastern valley. The reason that I'm right here, just for a real quick minute, I have, if you look at where we're at, it's a little hard to see, but this starts a downhill. Right, this part's relatively level. It's a little bit downhill, but it starts a little bit steeper right here. And I have found myself going too fast. So what I want to do is just put myself a marker, not constant. I want to use a variable. I'm going to go off into the woods a little bit. I'm going to raise this up so it's a nice big barrier. Let's see, where's our, we don't need it too close, but of course, not much else out here. And then I'll just demolish all. All right. So now when I'm coming by, I know that this is where I have to slow down. I have another marker. You guys can probably barely see it, but down there on the turn, those of you who followed everything closely know I have a turn down there. I've never derailed here, but like the last time we were coming down, I definitely got going fast, and I wanted my marker a little bit ahead of it. Now, that's hardly much of a rail repair, but I did want to point that out. I probably could even put it up here, but it's close enough, right? We don't need it to be. As long as I see it before I end up derailing. There we go. F wasn't working for a second. Do we have much heat? We got enough heat to go where we're going. So we're in the Heisler. I'm not sure if I even want to take the Heisler all the way down, but I do. I like the Heisler. One, I like the toolboxes on the roof. To me, that's just classic, right? I like the fact that as fast as it can go, I'm not going to derail with these 7 cars. So, it's hardly, it's a relaxing ride. Let's just put it that way. So we have whatever we find, we have 2 things that I want to do that are major and then another one that's minor. But any other thing that I've come across, I might remember something on the way. But I want to work on, there's a little dip after one of the turns that we fixed the bridge that was a sharp turn right up here. But then we left a dip in the tracks, like where we don't have a good grade. It's on a relatively straight part. I don't think it'll be that hard for us to fix and get it nice, but it has me a little bbit concerned. Then we have the top of the bridge that goes over the gorge, at least that's what I call it. And that's pretty, it's a little bit too, the height gradient isn't gentle enough in my opinion. I want to make it a little bit smoother. The turn is more or less okay. We might change that, but we'll see. And then the other thing is fixing up where we're coming into the coal mine. Did I say iron mine? I hope I said coal mine. I do like to flip the two. So let's see. It should be like right here. I think maybe right there I can almost see it. Right as we come. We're not really going as fast as we were with the other train, but we should be able to see where it like kind of... There, you see that dip up? Let's see if we can tell. See how the cars are all like jumping there? I mean, nothing major, but when you're going really fast, that's kind of a thing. So let's pull up here far enough to get out of the way. It's always good to be combining trips, right? Yeah, so I just want to give us plenty of extra because we're all on good track now, but I don't see this as being too big of a project. All right, so we'll worry about the fire heat when we get back in there. I might just pause it and then go up to the next spot, which is the top of the bridge. There we go. So see, all of this looks good. It's just like starting right about maybe here. You know what? It's where we hit this. Yeah, see, we go from the... Can you guys see that in the video? Like, see how it goes flat there? Like, we need that to be like straight on down to like, say, here maybe, right? So let's go. Yeah, we're going to take our chances and demolish all, right? So we'll go to about that spot when we're straight out of that turn. And then we'll see if we can't get it smoother. Yeah, how about up to about here? Looks like it's a little hard to say. Let's see what this looks like if we demolish. Can we demolish right there? Okay. Fair enough, right? I don't know if that's enough height to get up. I think what I was trying to do was, I think I built it up to this height to try to minimize the slope down. All right, if I delete that, are you too far? Can't really tell. I think that's on a road bed, but I don't see a road bed right here, so let's delete that one. What is this? That doesn't look like anything we need. Yeah, see, I'm not seeing a road bed. I don't really want to get into that turn too much. Now, there's a road bed there. So let's see if we can't. Let's see what a constant grade looks like from here. Just all the way up to here. Now, I don't want to do a constant grade. I'm just doing this to measure. To get an idea of what we're dealing with. All right, and so is that... Well, it is awful close. It's awful close. Let's just see what happens. Now, this might be too abrupt right here, right? So that might be part of the problem, is when we're trying to smooth it in, it's a little easier to... I don't want to turn it too much, but I need to get lined up with that other. Let's just see what this looks like, and then maybe part of it will be better. Part of it'll be worse, and we can decide. Sometimes just with all that grass, it's too hard to see the road bed for me. And right, once you put those rails in, it becomes a lot easier. Plus, we got the shadows, and yeah, see how that's just like 100% better through there, even if it isn't. Yeah, I can't tell that. I don't know that we're on road bed right here, but I really can't tell. I don't think we're going to have a problem. But then the question is, did we make this too steep? No, I don't think so. I mean, see, what we could do is, if we wanted to redo this turn, yeah, let's redo the turn. It's not something I particularly want to do, but all right, we'll start. Well, we'll start right off the... See, I think right about here, we were on a different slope. Right, and I think if we can go to like... Yeah, I don't want to delete that because it's all part of it. I want to see about just holding it up. Oop, not a firewood depot. Yeah, we'll do constant grade again. So I can change it as I go, right? I mean, if we just made that like level, which we're not going to want, but... All right, let's see, a little... I don't know if that did much of anything. Except for mess up our turn. Yeah, see, I think the thing is that this part right here... you know what? I could see gravel there where I couldn't before, right? So I think we did just do a little thing. And again, these little things are what... These little things make a difference in this game. Just going to try to stay right in the center and hope I can... match that up. I probably should go the other way. But we've got skills these days, right? We should be able to make it turn, come together a little bit anyway. Especially because we don't have much choice. Yes. You know, not perfect. I could see a little bit of a extra sharp bit there, but how do we look going down this way? Yeah, pretty good. Little sway. Yeah, it's a little bit swayed out and then back in, but I don't think that'll affect us. How do we look from here? Yeah, well, whatever it is, I don't think it's perfect because we're kind of hitting that ground right there, and it's sort of causing it to not be. But we took care of 96% of the problem. So let me pause it here. I'm going to probably have to put heat in this thing, and then I will pull up to the train. I guess we should. I don't know where I should go. I'm going to pull up before the big bridge that's up ahead that goes over the gorge, and then we'll repair the top of that, which I'm not even sure how many sections that thing is. So I might need to repair a lot, but we'll see. We'll pull up there, and I'll see you guys in a minute. I stopped right here, which is, if we look at our map, further south, right along the same path, of course, closer to the coal mine. Can we see the coal mine? Well, we could if the trees weren't blocking us. But I wanted to show you where I stopped was near this bridge, and you can kind of see where it's not, like, it's a little bit abrupt right here, right? And then this is sort of almost flat. It's a little bit uphill, but not too much. And we have this, like, ridge right here where we're above this ridge, and I'm hoping to be able to meld all this together. Right, I know I'm kind of a far way off, but see how that's really not, it's really not that smooth. I mean, it's flat, or it all works, but the problem I think is that I would like to see if I can't lower this right here a little bit. So I'm hoping to be able to, let's come up here and demolish the rails, right? So I'm going to demolish. Yeah, I think all of the rails. Let's go back over here. We won't go too far in case we decide to change our minds. But I'd like to see. Yeah, so there's where. Oh, we don't even have a bridge there. I don't know what happened there, but let's jump off. Good. So we should be able to go from here and lower that down, right? That's actually a good thing. That's sort of what I was. Let's just do bridges. Right, and then what I'm going to do, let me do groundwork. Variable grade is good enough. And I'm going to go slightly below this, right? And then just go up a little bit. All right, this is more so we have some place to work off of. I actually don't want this to be in our way. I'm actually going to go a little bit further because I think I want to get rid of that and that. Right, and even this, look, we got hidden. Oh, geez. A little more than I was hoping for, but that's okay. So I want that bridge to actually kind of come in maybe even lower than that. We don't really need that. This is, again, just a temporary thing so that we can set this bridge up just to be a little bit less steep, which we should try to find out what that means exactly. So let's click here. And then I just want to go, so you won't go back on yourself. Yeah, let's just go down and get a good idea. I think it's like 4 or 5. That's 6. We're not going that far, but that's pretty close. 6.5. See, and I think that going from that 6.5. Right, see, like if we're going up to 7, that's, or I'm sorry, if we're going down to 5, that's too much. All right, so let's see. We're going to be going up, right? Yeah, let's see what a single bridge just up to here would do, right? If we just wanted it to be, yeah, we definitely want it to be uphill anyway, not downhill. So right there, right? So if we can go to a 3% grade, or since that was like 6, right? That might be a little bit abrupt there. Why don't we go up? We'll go from a 4, right? We'll kind of take that a little bit straighter. All right, and then I'm going to get rid of the alt thing so we can fuddle this in ourselves. And this is where I wanted that road. Right, so we're going to go like that far at a 4. I can't really see. I should be able to do it from here. I just want to make sure it looks decent from there. All right, and then let's go to like a 2. Just see how that takes us. We want to be up a little bit higher. Let's go to a 3. All right, because we're going to go from uphill to downhill. I think that's pretty reasonable. Let's go look at, oops, ran right into that. Let's go look at what that looks like relative to what we have. All right, I think we can end it right there, because that certainly is where the bridge should end. Let's go demolish some groundwork. At least we fixed the spot where we had no bridge, too. That's uglier than sin, but shouldn't make too much difference to us. Then what I'd like to do is start with, I'd like to end the, I think it looks cool when we end the bridges with a abutment, you know, like this. All right, so this should maybe be a 2. Will that get us past the, yeah, that's pretty good. All right, we'll go a little bit further. Yeah, there you go. We'll just end that bridge abutment right there. Yeah, that's not too bad. Now, one of the issues we have is we're starting on a curve here. So let's go. Well, I'd really kind of like to maybe redo. Like I was saying, this, I don't really feel like this is very smooth. Oops, that's all right. I was going to come back and get all those, but yeah, I feel like right. Yeah, we'll come out of that, right, and then that's certainly like a new section. And we get rid of that section. Now, do we just want to do a constant grade? I think I might do like a variable grade coming off of here, but maybe I should do a constant grade just to get a good idea of what the overall slope's going to be. And then the whole thing was not very straight. So it's not like there wasn't 3 good reasons to do that. Let's go start from this end, because we can't really see exactly where these tracks end from that other side, right? So I want to go constant grade right there should be, yeah, so this level, it's not, so part of the problem is we have to keep going up. So let's keep up with the 2, right? Because that's what we were on. Yeah, I mean, let's go to 2 to right there. And then we'll go down to a 1 for a little bit. Let's go see if we're facing the right direction. Can't really tell too well, but we'll start swinging it around that way. I don't want it to be too sharp anyhow, right? Then let's go to an even. Yeah, we're on constant grade. Darn it. I did want constant grade until I didn't. Yeah, I think we need to go back to here. Let's do a variable grade past that spot, since we'll. All right, so this is going to be a 2. All right, we're going to keep swinging out this way, just make the turn a little bit less. I know we have that thing right there, and then come past there. Then we'll go down to a 1 for a little bit. How about we leave that? Well, remember, this is at a 1, so we could go kind of either direction, but we're going to end up going downhill. Let's just see what a constant grade from here looks like. Well, we still have to go a lot up to get to this point here. So I think my urge to go up. Yeah, see, that's a 3. Okay, that's part of my mistake right there. So let's go back and we're going to do, we don't need a 3. Let's do like a 2.5. Right, or no less than a 2.5. So this was a 2. I forget what this one was. I think this was a 3, right? So we could do, just do a stone wall. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I kind of like that better. And I also want to bring that out a little bit further, straighter. That way. So that'll be the end of that. That's perfect, right? We get up over that thing, and we're going to do a variable grade. So we're at a 3. Let's go up to a 2.5. Oops, I went the wrong way. There we go. All right, we'll start turning that a little bit. Now I'm going to get off of that. Let's go to a, so that was my variable grade, even though I didn't need that last bit to be variable. So I'm going to do a constant grade. Oops, keep doing that the wrong way. It's looking pretty close, isn't it? I can't really see where our tracks are. Let's run up to the top of the hill here where I can see. Yeah, we want to be over this way more. That's all right. If it curves down and around, that's, look at that. That's kind of like perfect. All right. And then let me go back to a variable grade. I really didn't need that constant grade, did I? All right, so we were at 2.5. Let's go to 1.5. Or, you know what? Let's go to 1.5. See if that clears. Yeah, I'm okay with going to a 1. All right, are we? Yeah, I think we could even swing it a little more this way. All right, let's go down to -1. Usually changing 1 degree. Well, you know, now is when we need to measure this out a little bit. Can we reach that far? All right, we just want to go almost straight right there, right? If we can. It won't go either way, but you know what we can do? We can come back here a little bit. Let's just all right, we're going to do 1.25. Let's do 1.5. And this will be a little bit less steep. Right, but by shortening that up, we get more control over this, theoretically. Right, when we do our little increments, it's a lot closer there. Try to match that up so it looks nice. It's close enough. All right, so if we step off to the side now, look how much smoother that is. Not more smoother. That wouldn't be proper English, right? A little bit wonky, but nowhere near like it was before. So let's go get our tracks going. Oh, I missed. That was, no. I don't like that. Oops. Let's do Let's just start over from here. Yeah, definitely need to swing it over. Come on. That way, but I did a little bit more than I wanted to, too abruptly. It's all about being smooth and steady, right? Not having to redo it 17 times. Yeah, see, we're a lot lower right here, I think, or at least a fair amount lower that it should help make a difference. We'll run straight right here. And start turning right about here, I guess. Can't really see that well. I don't want to make that too sharp, but all right, this will be a little tricky because this is just one pretty long turn. Can I come off of there in a way that's going to be... I think I want to delete a little bit more rails. Yeah, because I think I could be pretty straight from here. I almost probably could have got away with that other one, but... So let's get that relatively straight. I'm going to take off the Alt tool. Now I want to be a little bit to the right-hand side of this, right? Because that's the way that other track is. Like, just cutting it in a little bit. And I'll swing it out a little bit wide, like here. And hopefully be able to match that up pretty straight. Well, from the curve point of view, I think that melded in pretty nice. Now let's see what it looks like from like the side over here, where we can get like eye level with it. Yeah, see how much, I don't know if you guys can tell, but from having driven over it quite a few times, that's just a lot smoother. It's significantly lower. If you guys go back and look at where we were at, we were coming like all the way up to here. So now by doing that, the dips down on the bridge, but it hits this a lot smoother. So I don't know. Let's go take a real quick drive over it, and I'll pause the video. I might need to pause the video again just because we're going to have no steam. Yeah, let me pause right here. I'll go get in the train. I'll get it warmed up, and then we'll get back and going. Okay, we have enough steam, I think, to make it to back up to the coal mine. We'll see. Probably could have put a little more wood in there, but let's go over our new tracks. Just looking at it from here, we don't have that dip right there quite the same. It's sort of up over there. I think I wasn't realizing that this part right here was steeper, right? We're going to give it all, which is, if you do about 34%, this thing doesn't, go much faster than that, I don't think. It just makes more noise. And even then, it doesn't even make that much more noise. Yeah, it definitely looks smoother. It looks like a nicer turn out of there. Like, turn really draws into here. And it's a lot less sharp right at that pivotal point there. So you kind of have like the crest of the hill. Then you have a turn, and then that looks all like a nice gentle slope. Let's take a look at it from backwards. I don't think there's any trees I'm going to run into. I just want to see what these cars look like going through here. And the other thing is I do need to put on brake. Yeah, look at that. It's a little bit wobbly, but and you can see them coming down that hill onto the bridge, but nowhere near like it was before. Give it even a little more brake. It's a pretty steep 6.5 grade bridge, so there we go. So like the next stop, I don't think it's worth getting out. Let's do that break off. This is pretty close to level. It might be like a 1% up. Now looking over there, I can already see that there's gravel that comes down the side of the hill. I'd like to get rid of that. Use the hard to climb up onto, but much better looking stone walls maybe. I like the way the gravel looks, and it would be a mistake to make these stone walls too long without a section of gravel, because you literally get stuck down in here and you can't get up. I guess you could build you know, like temporarily build a thing to climb up there. That's about a pain. Yeah, if we look across, I think it looks just ugly. When we get closer, we'll see what I'm talking about. But the nice thing about this is you really almost, with 7 cars for sure, like we really just almost can't go fast enough to cause ourselves problems. So if you actually did want to just send a train up here with no regard for anything, just like set it on its path and then come back after you had a cup of coffee, this would probably be a good option. Of course, you could always set the other train to a low speed. I guess that would work just as well. But I'm looking for reasons to like the Heisler. Right? Yeah, see how I have that over across there? It looks like sin. I think that's just might even be a decoration. But if not, we'll replace that, because I want to redo the whole entrance, even if it means building a bridge to make that straighter. So I'm going to probably stop right on this turn right up here. And then we'll get in and we'll go from there all the way up, just trying to make that as smooth as we can, both in the turn and in the heights. I don't think the heights are too bad for most of it, other than right when we get into the iron mine. That's a bit of a problem. And then I had an excellent suggestion, and I can't find the quote to remember exactly who gave it, but it was one of the reasons I might have derailed up there is because I emptied the cars that were closer when we had 26 cars, and then there was a lot of heavy cars after that, and that does make a lot of sense, because if there's not enough weight in these cars that are close to you, you could pull the train off the tracks, right? Alright, so I'm going to stop right about here. Stop right about here. Right. Say again, you can't hardly even, you can just slam on the brakes, do whatever you want. Just because I have a little bit of a straightaway, I might even want to pull that back. But let's see where we cut this. See what's going on up here with that severe ugliness. Yeah, see, that's not even necessary. That's like, I was thinking that because I could kind of see. Let's do. All right. There we go. Well, that problem solved. See, we're fixing things. Yeah, you know what? Let's continue. Yeah, that's about a pain. Well, that's all right. We're going to break it off somewhere up here. We'll continue that down. And look at how wobbly that is right there. You know, like not the end of the world, but we're going to get rid of that. That seems fine. I think it's just this track needs to be redone. Now, is that fine after that? Right. Well, we could certainly. No, not really. I'm going to redo all of that too. All right, because I just don't feel like it's. It could. This bridge could probably be curved even. We'll see if we need to curve the bridge or what. See, then right up here. Yeah, this is where I want to build another little bridge possibly. Take a lot of that turn out of there. But also start raising this up. I don't want this on this slope here. I want it to be based on a tilt. I want to start sloping it out of here. In other words, I want to get rid of all of this. And even part of this. All right, this is our loop. That's that feed in there. All right, and we'll get rid of... I have a hard time with this. It's not that complicated. All right, this is all to the right height, but I want to get rid of... I can leave that there because I'm not going to... Yeah, see, I don't know... I do have another little issue I noticed here at one point. I got two different levels for some reason. See that? Somewhere along the line, I went and got another level. We need to pick one or the other. All right, so we can get rid of... Yeah, there you go. I think I was misled. They had some gravel coming up here. And even then, look, we swung that wide and all. Like, yeah, that could be just right into there. Okay, let's not go too far, right? So let's pick this as the level, which means I should get rid of a little more of this stuff. I think that might be the right level. Yeah, that is the right level. But we'll just do it so it's very clear where we're going. We'll do a variable grade in here. Is that another? Yeah, I don't know what that was. Got a lot of stuff underground. Yeah, no, this... I'm just going to do a constant grade to wherever I decide. All right, let's... I don't really want to be straight from there. Well, I guess it doesn't matter. Sorry, I'm being too widdly-washily. All right, so we're going to go from here just straight out. All right, yeah, we're on a variable grade. All right, so I would say if we can be at height right there, that would be pretty nice to be able to put a switch in. We might be redoing that whole... See that height difference right there? That'll feed us like pretty much straight into there. All right, we'll be able to put a switch right here, so let's do that so that we're not too worried about that other bypass thing at this moment, though. Maybe I should. For that reason, we'll come back here. Yeah, I'm thinking... That looks pretty straight that way, doesn't it? And then we'll do a constant grade here. Did we delete? Now, let me go back and delete. Like, delete all this so it's not abandoned under there. Now, should we just do all of this kind of thing? We'll take it down to there. So in other words, should we just do the stone wall thing? I'm thinking at least until we get to where we think. Yeah, cause see, I want to be like up on this, not down in here. Yeah, I think we should do the stone wall thing from at least a certain point over here. Yeah, see, what I did was when I came up here, being a novice that I was relative to nowadays, I followed their kind of stone path into there, and that was a mistake. That did not do us that well. All right, so we're going to do a constant grade. I think I need to do it. I think we're going to put this in. All right, we'll see what looks good by the time we get there. But yeah, we'll go a little bit straight out of that switch, and then we'll start our turn pretty quickly after that. And then we'll pull it really tight into here. All right. I think I remember doing this and not thinking it should be that high. All right, and then I just want to go like straight across here. I don't want to fall down in that thing, so I'm going to... let's go down some more. All right, so where are we at? Yeah, see, we can bring that like all the way over here. That's pretty reasonable in my opinion. And that's at a -3 the whole way. Let's undo that because that's going to have to match up to over there. So we'll do a variable grade. Let's do like a -2 for a little while. And then how would a -1 look? Oh, we're getting that good, or are we just getting that lucky? Yeah, and then we would do even, right? What is this? Oh, okay, it's not. Let's say what is? Yeah, that is about even. Can I? Let's do. Yeah, no, that's about perfect. About there to here. And now it's a 1% up. There you go. All right, so that's about even across that bridge. Yeah, to see this bridge, I think that bridge needs to go. Let's go ahead and do another constant grade. All right, I'm going to do this from here. Why is that above the height of the bridge? Let's go. I'm going to go down here so we can just. All right, so that way we can run across after I delete this bridge. It's on all, okay. All right, so now when it comes to this bridge, I want to come out of here. All right, maybe even start it back a little bit further, like here. Click. I'm going to get rid of my alt. And I think the whole bridges act like a whole. Yeah, that misaligns this thing, but bridges are constant grade, I think. Like when we just did what we did. All right, give me another section. Yeah, let's do up. There you go. Look at that. Perfect. 1% up. All right, and then let's get rid of that. Maybe a little bit more of that so we can make it look like we want. We can get rid of that. Then I'm going to get rid of this. I hope it's not too long a section. So I could just do my typical, this is how we end bridges for the fun of it. Yeah, no, we don't want to. This is where we wanted to redo stuff. Yeah, so you know what? Let's just do this all in. And this should be a 1% down anyway. I'm going to do a variable because it's hard to do a constant when you're dealing with these sections. These, like when you're trying to do it up under the rail. See how like we want to get, like I go down until I can't see. Like if I go up one more, I take out a little bit of the board. If I go down one more, it's like you can almost tell it's in the thing. So if we can get off to the side, it doesn't matter that much. Once the tracks are there, it's pretty much Yeah, that's pretty close. You can see how we were before. Just make that match up so it looks nice. I mean, there's probably a little bit of an air gap under here technically, but I don't think that really matters. All right, so that part's done. So let's go over to this other side before we start laying the track. And I want to do another, at least a little section of bridge abutment and or, oh wait, that should be, you know, I'm going to do that up 1%. Keep that up 1% theme going, I think is a good one. I'm thinking maybe I will take it back to here. Right, how big a difference is that? A little bit. Get rid of that section. That variable grade, that's okay. We'll just blend that right in. All right, so that should smooth in there. And then the next thing we want to do is let's demolish that. That was more than I expected, but fine. And then we'll do 1% up. Well, this is getting into more than 1% up. What the heck were we at? 2? Oops. We could remeasure with this real quick. Whatever this is what we want. 2.5, right? Why aren't you? Oh, you won't go that long. Of course not. Just that short. All right, let's stretch that out. I think 2.5. I think we're going to go with for this part right here, right? Because we're going from a 1 anyway, so we don't want to be too abrupt. Right, but then if I do, let's just do it from here where I can see where we're going. All right, yeah, like that. Yeah, so that'll be a 2.5, and then this one will now meet up, and then we can decide if that's nice or not. Yeah, not quite enough. Let's go up to a 3, right? But now what I want to do, yeah, let's do like to like right about there. Is that straight? I'm going to do another section to like right there, and then I'm going to delete this. And we're simply going to put a bridge right in between. It should be a 3. Perfecto. Right, though I don't really like exactly where that bridge is. I think we should swing it out. Yeah, I don't like exactly what I did there. So let's do it from the other side where I can see which way I'm heading better. Because this side looks good. It's a little bit more of a turn, but that's all right. It's good. As much turn as we have there is going to take out turn from up here. And I don't want groundwork. I want a bridge. All right, and I want that bridge to be like much further over this way. All right, something like that. Yeah, it could make a little turn, but we can also fudge that in with the tracks, right? Let's demolish that and this. This stuff isn't showing up on the side now. Well, let's just see about fudging that together. Right? So we might come right in, right close to that. And then can we come up? Yeah, that's awful sharp right there, isn't it? Yeah, I don't really like that. Let's see if we can come in straighter. I don't think there's any reason we can't. I'm just sticking to the old ways for some reason. All right, we'll go back to about there. We use a variable grade in case we decide to. Yeah, how's that? That's not too bad, is it? I think we're going straight in. Yeah, that's really. Take that to a 2. And then a 1. And then even. There you go. Good. I didn't even stick myself in the ground. So we should be able to. Let's just level off another swath of this. That'll look fine anyway, right? Just make sure that that comes up. Yep. Right into the level nicely, even if our thing's off. So look how much we took out of this turn here, you know? So let's go back and lay this track in. I think that, and take a look at it as we go. But I think this is, yeah, that's still a sharp turn, but it's not nearly as sharp as it was, right? Before it was, none of this looks perfect, but I think it'll look better after we put the tracks on it. The bridges always do once you cover them with the, but we did undo a bunch of track, didn't we? Yeah, see how nice and turned that bridge is? Good. Yeah, we redid a bunch. I think we've redone this whole top portion now. Because I know we redid that turn behind us at some point. Yeah, I'm going to leave that a little bit back. So we can make a little bit of a straight section before we... Guess we should check that out before we go too much further. Yeah, nice. You know, it's a turn. I mean, it'd be nice if it was straight, but we are boxed in here with little choice as to exactly where we go. But should be able to make a nice transition out of this one. Never going to be our highest speed track, is it? Come on. Let's back up so we can kind of get a better idea of what we're... So let me take that alt thing off. Yeah, that bridge should be pretty darn straight. So I want to cheat it a little bit over this way. Right there. Well, give me a connector, please. We're going to hug this track right around that thing. As long as you're... None of the cars really go much past the wood. And then there is the slope, so... Yeah, that's going to be too much. Let's Swing it out as wide as we can there, right? Just keep swinging it back to here. There we go. And we're up and in. So now I want to head straight, as we turn gradually, head straight in towards that. And I think right here, yeah, we'll do all. We'll take our chances that we delete something we want. Yeah, we're just going to get rid of that. That's, I don't know if we'll use that. We're going to try our much liked fact that we can maybe try to unload that train different and stop those derailments. So does this, I think this may go down as a matter of principle. Let's get rid of that stuff because it's just going to get buried in there. I don't think we necessarily need to go down that much. Well, though we do need to match that up, don't we? Well, let's come in here a little bit straighter, at least to the point we can get a switch or two in. All right, so we want to come here. Yeah, I think that we might be raising that up. I don't think there's the days of wanting that to be down. I don't think that that's a good thing that we have a slope there anymore. All right, so that's pretty good for that. I don't really like that last piece, or do I? No, not really. I think it's turned too much. All right, so let's, with that in mind, see if we can't fit two switches in. Can we just connect you? Or are you going to be up in the air or something stupid? Yeah, you're going to be up in the air. And see, that'll mess you up. It doesn't look like it's much, but it will mess you up. And that's because we were like coming up this slope and it's taking whatever kind of averages it takes. All right, so let's do that without the attachy bit. Yeah, so I think we could handle that. All right, the problem is I don't know if we're going to get that other back in. So let's go ahead and get rid of all of this rail that's down below. The only thing I don't want to do, we can leave that marker there. I don't think it'll get covered. The thing I don't want to do is lose where we're at, because I think we had problems. It was a little bit finicky getting those rails off, so I do want to be in the same location. So let's run our rails in here. See what they look like first. Put this at this height. All right, so if I have that marker there, then I can make one on the other side and just match the two up. Yeah, I think I can get another. I don't know if it's worth it, but I can get another switch in there, I think, before I make this turn. Let's do my typical little short section. I just looked up. We are running out of time here, aren't we? Now this rail I could probably put in and it'll stay the right height, right? Because I've make sure it's straight out of there and then turn up to meet this. All right, so just for the sake of the video, because I really want to get this done, let me go up and delete this stuff, and I'm just going to more or less replace this track up in the air, and then I'll be right back. Okay, we're going to get this in. Like I said, it doesn't matter if we go over an hour too much. But there we go. So it's not the straightest, but that's kind of how it was, actually. So I'm wondering if this isn't... I mean, we're always unable to unload these, but they do kind of look like they're going to fall off. But they're kind of far away. But it is pretty close to the same position, but now it doesn't dip down anymore. So that could have been, you know, when you get a lot of trains going. Now, the other thing you notice, it swings out that way and then goes all the way around. I didn't mess with any of this, right? Let's just see how easy or hard it'll be to tie this back in. And that should be, you know, most of it. Now, we don't have this hooked up. We could do that pretty quickly, I think. All right, let's get that. What I'm going to do, I'm going to fill this in. Yeah, that'll be fine. Oh, this is at the different height. Yeah, you know what? We don't... So this is at a different height altogether. So let's just get rid of... I need to make that the same height as this. Or do a variable, right? Not the same height, but I need to make it... Why don't we go... Yeah, right there. All right, and then I'll blend that down in. It'll be okay. I'm not too worried about this. Though I did just use it in the last episode, so it's sort of one of those things too, right? How's that turn look? Yeah, it's a little sharp, but again, you're just gonna be backing in slowly anyway. And then this, yeah, that needs to go back. Let's demolish just rails so we don't. Yeah, let's take that back to this turn here. All right, it's usually, for me, it's usually easier to start from this end if it's all things being equal, because it's, for me, it's harder to see this somehow. Like, I can see exactly where that line is, and it's going to be a little easier. It's hard for me to judge what straight out of this thing is, right? Because you really want to kind of like meet up to the straight line that's coming out of the track. Right, like, it doesn't matter too much where we're at here. This is all, we're just making a turn. But as we get past like the apex of the turn, we want to start seeing where the straight line of this track is, right? Like, I'm picturing a line coming out there, so I can kind of meld right into that straight line. Like, see how I'm kind of, you know, I want to gradually run into that straight line right there to make a nice smooth turn. And then eventually, like these last couple clicks, hopefully by then you're right on the center line of this. Well, there we go. Unfortunately, you're not going to get to see me do this because we're just kind of out of time, but I think that this is going to be, well, maybe not this part right here. All right, we'll demolish that back so we can, we're going to demolish it back another time. Yeah, I think we can make that work nice right there. See if we can meld into that turn again with our new, well, we probably could even, yeah, you know what? Let's not be cheap. Let's not be lazy, whatever the right, yeah, see, I think we can come from right there. I think it's going to be easier to see from up here. Coming this way. Try to miss that. Just try to hug that gravel where it's not meeting the dirt. I think that's nice. I think we did a good thing. Let's see how it looks. All right, come on in. Much smoother, like all that turning and going up that steep hill. Like, it's still up a hill, but it's uphill, right? So what that's telling me is that when we come in and we start working trains, I think we want to be specific about how we do that, not end up back down this thing too much. But at least we're not, it's just not as goofy as it used to be. So we have some more train marking and some more things to work out. Let's just run down along here as I say goodbye. We'll see if there's any gross uglinesses. Yeah, see how that, I mean, again, it is what it is. That I don't like. I think we swing in and out too much right there. I think I could do that a little bit smoother. All right, let's look at that. I'm not sure if you guys could tell a big difference. Then there's not one. It's sort of, yeah, I think the problem is this turn right here is just pointing a little bit closer to that wall than we probably would like, but I'm not going to redo the whole bridge for that, or the whole bridge tracks anyway. Yeah, this feeling a lot better. Plus, we don't have that ugliness hanging off the cliff. I don't even know why we had that there. I guess we thought it was a good decoration at some point. I just never looked off the side. Yeah, so there we go. Another rail repair episode. We got everything we wanted to, even though it got rushed at the end there. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. And if you've been following it, you've seen a lot of it. So, and then I did get a request to put the rails up online, like somehow they map your train tracks. I kind of heard about that on Steam, so I'm going to look into that. In the meantime, I'm going to go get some coal and get that coal brought down. Oops. Yeah, we're having issues fueling this thing up a little bit. But there we go. So I need to get this, let the heat build back up, and then I'll get it up to the coal mine. We'll get my 64 coal down to the ironworks, and we'll go from there. So I hope you guys, as I said, enjoyed the episode. I hope you have a wonderful day. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.